We are joined now by Felisha Legette-Jack. If you happen to be watching us on QSportsTalk.com, you will see her now.
Yeah, not an easy stretch of games coming up.
Yeah, a tough stretch. Coach, first of all, congrats on this 16-2 record. You guys are playing awfully well. Thanks so much for coming on today. How are you today?
Oh, thanks for having us. I'm doing great.
All right, so I guess let's start with the start. 16-2. You're playing awfully well, as we mentioned. I think there are a lot of people around town maybe surprised by the record. Are you surprised with the success you've had through the first 2 months of the season?
We don't look at it as success or failure. We just look at it as we're ongoing right now. We're just, just trying to get better every single day. And, we're not really concerned about anything other than us just trying to get better. And the 16-2 start is good to see that, but we certainly want to be better in certain games and get some quarters back just to continue to clean it up. And so that's the neat thing about basketball. Each second, each minute, each hour, you got the opportunity to continue to get better, and that's what we're trying to do.
Best start for this program in 11 years. Again, back in the top 25 this week. I do have to ask you about these most recent games that you've played. The Clemson game where you came back from 19 down, the Florida State game, you come back from 18 down. You made a liar out of me, by the way, Coach. After the Clemson game, I said going into Florida State on the news on News Channel 9, they asked me, what do the women have to do to win tonight? I said, well, one thing they can't do is dig another huge hole because they're not going to fight out of it against Florida State. And then sure enough, you fall down by 18, you come back, win the game. What does that say about your team, though, back-to-back games, to be able to dig yourself out of those kinds of deficits and find a way to get it done, maybe when you didn't have your best stuff?
Resiliency, is a word that comes to mind. Is that these young ladies they're resilient, they're tough, and they're playing for something bigger than basketball. They're playing for their story. They're playing for their why. As cliche as that sounds, it is the truth. And these young ladies, they get along. They win in the locker room. Those type of things is what we're doing right now, and it's rolling over on the basketball court. And I'm just excited to be along for the ride.
You brought several players with you over from Buffalo, and, among them Georgia Woolley and De'Asia Fair, and it's worked out well for all parties involved. We've got to talk about De'Asia and what she's meant for this program and this recent achievement, getting to 3,000 career points. And, she's going to finish her career well inside the top 10 all-time in scoring, which, again, just boggles my mind what she's been able to do. Can you kind of speak to what she's meant to you and to the program here and coming back for this last year, what she's meant to this team?
Well, I tell you what, she's like my daughter. She's just a young lady that just asked for a chance. Not a lot of people recruited her. She came down to Buffalo to a camp and the summer prior to her senior year, and she just wanted somebody to look at her because she had no idea about this whole process. She was being recruited by Rochester Institute and a bunch of little schools, and then there was us at Buffalo, and she had some family members in Buffalo, so she wanted to go somewhere where she can feel safe, where she had family, and it was the closest of the biggest, I guess, and she liked what we brought. She liked the fact that she felt like we were going to be loyal to her and committed to her, and to see her grow from the shy young lady that stood behind me for the most part for her first 2 years to the young lady that stands in front of me that's telling her story. I just can't tell you how proud I am of her. 3,000 points and ACC Player of the Week yesterday, and those type of things are all cool. But to see her evolve into the young woman that she is, that to me is the biggest story.
I tell you, some of those shots she made against Florida State, we came on the air the next day here on the radio show, and I compared her to Steph Curry. I mean, the way that everybody in the building knows she's going to shoot it, she finds a way to get her shot off, and it seems like, there's no shot too deep for her. She can back up to the logo and still make it. I say this kind of tongue-in-cheek, but it's a serious question. Is there such thing as a bad shot for De'Asia Fair?
Well, you know what? If you work on it, the shot, she knows that she has permission to be. And that's one thing, she tried out for USA Basketball, and she didn't have the best showing because there was nobody that really gave her permission to be. And she's one of those people. And this year we worked on, forget about everything. If you worked on something, you have to give yourself permission. And one thing worked playing for me, I give her permission to take any shot that she works on. And if you come to our practice, she's taking shots that looks outlandish, and she's doing it with ease. So when the game comes, 5, 4, 3, 2, let it fly, because she's actually worked on those shots. So I just think that it's like a great kind of situation that we kind of found each other at the right time. And I'm so grateful that I have her. I think she likes me a little bit, and I think we make a good team.
You absolutely make a good team. And, one of the things that I love about De'Asia, you go back to like the Clemson game, for instance, and there was all the pressure with the 3,000 points and then the comeback, and she was a big part of the comeback. And then what was the biggest play in the game? It wasn't a shot she made. It was an assist, right? And I think that speaks a lot to her character, that game on the line, she makes the right basketball play, and she can't do it alone, right? I mean, this is a team effort. She's the leader, but this very much is a team effort this year, isn't it?
Absolutely. And she loves to pass the ball first, to be honest. And I have to tell her, I have to threaten her, you don't shoot the ball, I have to take you out of the game. And she wants to play. But that was a great catch by people call her a freshman. I just call her a player, Alyssa Latham. That was an incredible catch. She had a catch in traffic. So our team is just willing to give it all up for each other. And this is I say this about a lot of my teams, but this is the most spectacular team that I've been with, because they don't care who gets the credit. From Georgia Woolley, who can just go for 20 any day she wants, to, Cheyenne McEvans, who hasn't played a minute, but is a major part of the guard success because of the way she practices in practice. Kyra Woods is doing her thing. Sanaya coming off the bench, and Sophie Burrows, a freshman that can shoot the 3-ball far out. Everybody's willing to do their part. And Elena, you can't say much about her. She's just amazing, Rice, and her defensive prowess. So I'm just really excited that, what we're telling them is what they're doing. And we have to almost be careful what we say, because there could be some cracks in the wall. If we say go through the wall, they're going.
Coach, on a personal note, have you had a chance to kind of reflect on your time here? I know, we sat down when you first got here, and got the job, and you talked about this being a dream come true, to be able to come back to this area and to be able to coach this particular school, your school, to have this amount of success and in such a short period of time. Have you had a chance to reflect at all about, how cool this is for you individually to be able to do this at your alma mater?
I'm still dreaming, I'm not going to wake up. And not a lot of people get an opportunity to go back to their alma mater to have a chance. And you can't ever just rest on your laurels and think that you've done something because you've arrived. And I'm also coming from a place of where I was a fire coach, where I understand the assignment. You got to win. And so it's been a interesting journey thus far. I've been in the hospital for the month of October with some health issues, and what got me back was knowing that I'm still at my alma mater, still getting an opportunity from John Wildhack to be here, and that kind of got me out of that room and got me back into what my happy place is, and that's coaching young women to be bigger than themselves. And so, no resting and listening to the noise about how good we've done. We've not done anything until we bring home a national championship, and that's the goal, and that will always be the goal.
Coach, since you brought up the health issues, I know you've been through a lot the last several months. You've been certainly in my thoughts and prayers. I'm glad you're doing better. How are you feeling? Just for our listeners, how are things going health-wise?
Oh, my goodness. I feel amazing. My eyesight is a little bit interesting right now. The bright lights in the dome is a little bit much, so I have to wear my little sunglasses and a little bit. But other than that, everything's great. I had some great doctors, and Dr. Chen and Dr. Arnold and Dr. Hopkins. They all pitched in and got me back to where I need to be. And it was really neat. The last game versus Florida State, I look in the stands, and Dr. Chen and Dr. Hopkins were in the stands. And so it's just a village of great people here in Syracuse. That's why it took me 22 years to get back. Kind of ran back home. You can talk about the snow all you want. You can talk about the cold weather all you want. But the warmth of the people that really love you and love this place is so evident in every single daily thing we do. And when you go through a health issue here in Syracuse, these doctors are the real deal. So I'm so blessed and happy and excited about where we are. Health-wise is great because there's some great people that's in our village.
Really well said, Coach. So happy that things are going better for you health-wise.
Thank you.
Let's look ahead to this next opponent now, and it's it's an opponent you know awfully well. You saw them in the Dome. They're going to be looking for a little bit of payback, you would assume, and things have not gone well for Syracuse in South Bend in the history of this program. What can you tell us about this particular opponent and this particular matchup on Thursday night?
Let's talk about this conference. This is a gauntlet of a conference. My goodness, there's no rest for the weary. Every game is a dogfight from the top to the bottom. So Notre Dame's no different, and everyone plays great at home. And Notre Dame's no different. They play great at home. They're healthy. They're sick kids. They're back. They're all healthy, and we're still missing our big kid. And she's still not back from her health issue, but. They're going to shoot the ball well. They're going to run the ball well. They're going to box out well. They do everything well. And I just told our players, we just can't worry about them. We just got to keep our eyes on who we are and not worry about anything other than what we've come to do, win and learn. We want to learn and win by scoring more points for sure, but it's still kind of early in the season, so we're not going to make this like the national championship game. We're going to take this one game at a time, one possession at a time, and hopefully that, at the end of the game, we're in position to have success.
Since you use that term gauntlet, let's go there next because it's Notre Dame, and then you've got two more ranked opponents right after that in Virginia Tech and Louisville. So 3 ranked opponents in a row. How do you keep the players, I guess, just focused on the next one and not get ahead of themselves and not look big? It's easy to look big picture these days, right? I mean, social media, and you see bracketology, and you guys are up to a 6 seed right now in bracketology. How do you kind of quiet that outside noise, Coach, and keep the players focused on the next game, the next practice, whatever's coming up next?
It's simple. Just be where your feet are. You can't be with your tomorrows when today isn't over yet. And so that's what we talk about, and we keep it as simple as that. This is a game of basketball. This is not what Dr. Chen and Dr. Arnold had to do, with surgical procedures. This is an opportunity to be free and run and dance and hug your teammate and take care of your sister and that type of thing. And we keep it as simple as that. And if you need something to get you really going, look in that mirror and think about your why and the people that helped you get to the position that you're in, and then go to work and give your best effort. A lot of kids get so much pressure from all this social media stuff and this ranking of all these people, and what we don't do is bring that pressure to them in our locker room or on our court. We talk about be where your feet are, love your sister, work hard for your sister, work hard for your mirror, and definitely work hard for your why.
Well, Coach, you are an inspiration to so many people in this town, both on and off the court. Keep up the good work. Best of luck Thursday. Thanks so much for coming on, and we'll talk again soon.
You got it. Hey, go Orange.
All right, Coach Felisha Legette-Jack. And with that, we will hit a timeout.
Yeah, quick little breaking news, Steve. This has been up in the air for a little bit. Brett McMurphy is reporting that Syracuse and UNLV will replace their Army games that they both lost to start the season. Early on in the season, the two teams will play at UNLV this year. And she said something I tell Jordan all the time. Do you ever tell this to the people that work under you? We're in radio, man. Have fun. You're not saving lives. Let's go. Just have fun.
Love talking with Coach Jack.
She's great.
Great message. Again, both on and off the court. And so great to hear that she's feeling better. So we'll take a timeout. We could talk about all this.
Yeah, we'll talk about the UNLV game. Yeah, because I think it's a perfect matchup.
Yeah.
It's a road game against a lower level team, but they're okay.
Yeah, they are okay. Yeah. They just went to a bowl game. Yeah. All right, we're back after this on ESPN Radio.